We have kind of a joke in our family that whenever somebody builds something, somebody else has to test it. And that usually means shaking it to see if it holds up. So if you build a swing set or if you build a new porch, then someone has to come around and give it a good shake to see, is it really built well? Does it hold up? Imagine if you hired a contractor to build you a new porch, and after they built it, the contractor told you, just don't walk on it. You would be rightly upset, right? Because you would expect something to be built well, that it can hold up. And so I think, for us as Christians, we should have a passion for the truth. In fact, Jesus says, I am the truth. And so part of what it means to be a follower of Jesus is to have this deep desire in our hearts to experience the truth. And one of the ways that we can experience the truth is through other people. But what that requires, though, is a test. It's sort of like the shake test in my family. When I hear something or somebody shares something with me, I can kind of test it out first to see if it's true. And what does that look like? Well, I think for us as followers of Jesus, it means, does this sound like Jesus? Does this remind me of Jesus? And if it does, then that means that there's probably truth there and it's solid. If this is like, hey, I don't think this sounds like Jesus, this doesn't remind me of Jesus, then that's probably something that you don't want to stand on. You don't want to put your weight on. Because if it's not the truth, then it's not solid. Our word of life this month tells us to test everything and to hold fast to what is good. And there's this reality that if I have this open heart where I have a passion for the truth, then I might actually be surprised where the truth comes from. I think many of us have people in our life that we find difficult. Maybe it's that coworker that you're always kind of butting heads with. Maybe it's that neighbor that you seem to always be in conflict with. Maybe it's a classmate in school who maybe makes fun of you or puts you down for being a Christian. Well, if we live this word of life and I test everything and I hold fast to what is good, then the reality is that even in these people that I find difficult, there actually might be truth there. They actually might share things that if I'm really listening to them, I can say, oh, there's actually goodness that I can hold on to. And if I'm able to do that, then something amazing starts to happen, which is I'm able to start building relationships with people that I thought maybe wasn't possible. People who I disagree with, people who see the world differently than I do. And yet, if I'm testing everything, I'm going to find truth there. Because the reality is that Jesus is very active. Jesus is very busy at work in the world, revealing himself, sharing his truth. And I'm able to experience that truth even from unexpected places and unexpected people. Now, this doesn't mean that I have to believe everything that everybody says, or that I have to accept everything that somebody says who I disagree with. That's not practical and it's not actually good. What I need to do if I live this word of life is I need to test everything first. Give it a good shake. Some things I can receive because, yes, this reminds me of Jesus. This sounds like Jesus. This is good. I want to hold on to that. Some things I can maybe put aside because maybe it's not true. But in that exchange of ideas and that exchange of truth, suddenly I'm building relationships that are rooted in Jesus because they're rooted in the truth. So this month, let's test everything and hold fast to what is good. And maybe we'll find ourselves at the end of the month with new relationships with other people, maybe even people far different than us, but we have something in common, which is the truth, which is Jesus who unites us. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to keep up with other great content to help you live your life of unity with God and with one another, make sure you subscribe to Focolare Media so that you can continue to live your divine adventure.